storage software, from the word itself, storage, okay? So, kailangan i-save natin, okay? Kasi kung kakailanganin mo siya for a future use, you can retrieve the data, okay? So, for example, sample 1 ang ating pangalan sa kanya, okay? So, kahit ma-accidentally close po natin yan, nakasave na po siya kaagad. Okay? So, kanina, yung database 1 na template natin sa students, isinave niya na rin po kagad yun. Okay? So again, whenever you create a database file, you will be first to ask what kind of file name are you going to rename or replace the file name of your data or your file. Okay? So this will be your environment first. Kung wala pa po tayong any object, so ayan, makikita naman po natin dito, dun sa ating left corner, ito po yung ating navigation for our object. So, kapag po naka-check yung ating all access objects, so lahat ng objects, for example, reports, forms, queries, tables, macros, reports, ano pa ba? Modules, lahat po yon lalabas dito sa gilid and in an object type pag po naka-check to. Ibig sabihin, magkakasama yung tables, magkakasama yung queries, magkakasama yung forms, so on and so forth. Okay? So, yan. Now, meron din po tayo ditong home kay Access. Kaya lang, syempre, it varies kung ano yung laman niya doon sa other MS Office suite. Kung ano lang yung applicable sa kanya, yun lang syempre yung makikita natin kay home katulad nung kay Excel, 'di ba? So dito, since hindi natin siya makiklik kasi wala pa tayong any object na naka-add sa kanya. Pero ang makikita natin dito under view is database view. Okay, yung database view is that yung spreadsheet-like, yung makikita natin sa kanya. Tapos SQL view, so yung SQL view through programming, kapag naka-query tayo, kapag table, dalawa lang siya. Design view tsaka data sheet view, okay, or database view. And then, andito rin yung ating clipboard grouping for the paste, cut, copy, and format painter. And yung ating sort and filter. Kaya lang dito sa sort and filter natin, under selection in advance and toggle filter, meron tayong mga selections na po pwedeng pamilian para sa kanya. Okay? So, do not worry about this one. Although, magagamitin natin yung sorting, pero yung filter, hindi po kasi it will be more on the SQL side tayo para mas malaman natin or matutunan natin or on how to retrieve data into a database. Okay? So, records also. And then, sa text formatting, wala namang pong problema with regards to text formatting kasi usually naman kung paano natin siya itinype, ganun na lang siya. Okay? So, ginagamit natin si text formatting kapag magke-create po tayo ng forms tsaka ng reports. Okay? Pero pag naka-database view po tayo, usually isang style lang naman po siya. Okay? Now, andito po sa second menu yung ating create. So, ang po pwede nating i-create sa kanya is the application part. So, po pwedeng mamili tayo dito. One right, one top, two right, two top. And then detail. So, usually ginagamit po ito kapag forms yung gagawin natin sa kanya. At yung mga forms naman po natin na to ay nanggagaling dun sa ating tables. Okay? So, andito rin po yung ating table. If we will be creating table design, okay? So, sa table design naman, automatically po siya. So, yung table, papangalanan mo muna siya and then table design, diretso ka ng table design on entering your fields, okay? And then SharePoint list, and then andito yung ating queries, okay? So, lagi po yan na nasa create. Query wizard, if you want to have a step-by-step procedure to create a query. Okay, step-by-step. So, for example, simple query wizard, okay. So, since wala pa tayong table, hindi siya lalabas. Pero, yung query from the word wizard, i-guide ka niya para makapag-create ka ng query. Yung query design naman po, automatically, you already know what tables are you going to include dun sa iyong query na yon, okay? And then, teka, close mo. Automatically, ikaw na yung magde-design nung query mo. Okay? And then, form design, from blank report, ikaw yung magke-create. Okay? And then blank forms, navigation, and then more forms. So dun sa navigation, magke-create ka ng mga forms na aayusin mo kung paano yung tabs nila. Okay? And then nandito rin po yung ating creating of report. And then sa dulo yung ating macros. Okay? So class, do not worry about all of it kasi doon lang tayo magpo-focus kay table, creating tables, tsaka creating queries. Okay? So kay queries, meron tayong shortcut, meron tayong hard coding. Okay? So external data, if we want to import data or export data from our database to Excel or Access, and then ganun din for export. Okay, so pwedeng mag-create tayo ng um, tables na nanggaling na kay Excel. Okay? I-embed na lang natin siya. And I will be telling you guys what is the difference of creating your own tables in Access, the same with importing it from Excel. Okay? So ano yung difference at easy way nila. And then lastly, our database tools. So usually, ang gagamitin lang natin dito is the relationships. Okay? So let's start. So this will be your entrance pag nag-open kayo ng Access environment, and you will be asked to uh, save the file name kung saan nyo siya isi-save, pati yung pangalan niya. So your ribbon, so the ribbon holds multiple tabs and each with some groups of commands, and it is designed to reply to your current task. Okay? So this clipboard is for, this grouping is for clipboard. So usually ginagamit talaga natin to for copy-paste ng data. Pero sasabihin ko na sa inyo, usually hindi po tayo talaga nagka-copy-paste ng data although po pwede from Excel to Access kung nakaayos na yung data natin. Pero kung um, maglalagay ka pa o magsusupply ka pa lang ng data ng isa-isa or hindi pa siya ayos, medyo mahirap siya. Okay, so ang mainam nun, ilagay mo muna siya kay Excel, tapos tsaka mo na lang siya i-import kay Access. Okay? Now, for the quick access toolbar, katulad lang din siya ni Excel, meron po tayong po pwedeng mga icons na i-ready doon sa ating quick access toolbar so that whenever we have to kailanganin natin yung access for the specific icon, madali natin siyang mariretrieve. For example, dun sa save, di ba? So, click mo lang yung icon na yun dun sa quick access toolbar mo, automatically your database will be saved. Kasama din niya dito yung undo tsaka redo. And you can also modify your quick access toolbar by clicking yung inyong drop-down arrow dito and enabling the commands kung ano yung gusto nyo ilagay kay quick access toolbar. Now, your backstage view or your file. So, sabi natin, si backstage view gives you the various options for saving, opening, and printing your database. So, ito siya. Katulad lang din siya ni Excel, meron tayong mga menu options dito na po pwedeng ayusin sa kanya. Open, save as, okay? And then, the navigation pane. So the navigation pane is a list of comprising every object in your database, and it allows you to open, rename, and delete objects using the navigation pane. So dito sa gilid, ito yung ating navigation pane. Dito lumalabas again all of your access objects. Okay, basta nakaselect po yung all access objects natin para malaman ninyo kung alin bang table yung i-open ninyo or bubuksan ninyo. Also, kung i-rename nyo ba siya or i-delete. But take note class, whenever we delete data, table, record kay database, we cannot undo that anymore. Okay? Hindi natin siya pwedeng i-undo. Okay? Take note of that. Kasi once na nag-delete naman tayo, itatanong niya na kagad sa atin if we want to delete that data or that record. Kasi sasabihin naman niya na kapag dinilit mo na to, hindi mo na siya maibabalik. Unless meron kang backup. Okay? Unless meron kang backup. Para ipipaste mo ulit yung data na nawala sa kanya. Okay? So now, to open an existing database, kung meron na kayong access file dati, for example, To open that, just go to the File tab and select the Backstage view and then click Open and browse your data. Okay? So, File, and then Open, and then browse. Hanapin nyo lang yung database niyo kung saan siya nakasave. Okay? So, when found, click nyo lang yung file ninyo kapag na-locate nyo na siya, and then click Open. Okay? So, yun. So, kung wala pa naman, just click Access, open your Access, and then click Blank Database. Okay? Now, working with objects. So, Access gives each of these objects as single documents. Okay? So, which means you will have to open and save them separately in order to work with them. So, parang kay, hindi pala, kay Excel, once na nag-save ka, lahat nakasave. Kay Access, once na create ka ng changes sa isang table, pag kinlose mo yung table na yon, yung changes lang dun sa table na yun yung masisave. Or kapag kinlose mo yung buong table, doon ka lang niya tatanungin if all of the changes on your access is if you want to save all of them. Okay? So now, to open an object, just go on your navigation pane, okay, and then select and double-click the desired object. So, as easy as, for example, create tayo ng table. So, sa table natin, automatically, itatanong niya na sa atin kung ano yung mga fields na gusto nating ilagay sa kanya. So, for example, yung ID natin, so ito, table 1, sample table. So, ito yung ating field name. So, ano daw yung field names na or yung mga headings na gusto nating lagay sa kanya. And then, ito yung kind of data type na pamimilian natin. So, we have here the short text. So, yung short text, ginagamit natin siya pagdating sa mga parang string. Okay? So, it is a combination of numbers and letters, yung short text. Ngayon, ang short text, may limit lang po siya na 255 characters. Yung atin naman long text, ay, naku, nakasave na siya. Kapag long text naman po, ang range nito is 32,756, parang ganun, yung ating long text. So, yung long text naman, ginagamit naman natin to usually kay comments, kay remarks, notes, ayan. Pero yung short text, usually ginagamit natin yan, name, address, okay? Telephone number, mga ganun. And then, dito sa field names natin, dito nga natin ilalagay yung ating header ng ating table. Tapos, we have to declare what kind of data type siya. So, again, we have short text, long text, number. Number, lalo na kapag kakailanganin natin siya for computation. So, kailangan natin siyang i-declare as number. Tapos, date and time. So, dito magkasama lang yung declaration ng date and time. Okay? And then, currency. Of course, pag currency, pera. Auto number, increment. Okay? Pag sinabing increment, we'll start with 1. Okay? So, yun yung auto number. Siya yung bahala na maglagay ng foreign key or ng ID dun sa ating field. And then, yes, no. So, usually, it is a Boolean question. So, hindi siya ginagamit sa gender, ha? So, yung iba kasi, nagulat ako dun sa mga dating estudyante. Ang ginawa dun sa gender, yes, no. Ano to, katanungan kung ikaw ba ay babae o lalaki, yes, no. So, hindi po siya po pwede. So, usually, ang ginagamit nitong yes, no ay, let's say, for example, sa forms, kung meron kang mga allergies, yes or no, tapos you indicate doon sa susunod na field kung ano yung mga allergies mo. Okay, so yun yun. Tapos, OLE object. So, OLE object, attachments po ito, usually macros. And then, hyperlink. Kung yung ilalagay natin dun sa field na yon ay, for example, email address. So, usually sa email address, hyperlink na kagad yung inilalagay natin. Short text and then hyperlink para whenever we click that data, diretso na siya kagad kay email. Okay? And then attachment, so whatever attachment, it could be a document, a form, a report, a picture, a fingerprint. So, ay, hindi pala. So, picture pala, tsaka sa fingerprint, ang inilalagay na declaration ay OLE object. Okay? So, dito rin kasi kay database po pwede natin i-store yung fingerprint tsaka pictures natin. So, yun, ginagamit naman yung usually sa fingerprint for payroll purposes. Let's say, login. Yung sa mga companies, nagla-login sila. So, yung automatically, pag nag-login sila through, let's say, fingerprint, automatically, mare-record na kagad na, oh, siya, pumasok na siya, oh, check na siya sa attendance. Something like that. The same with kung anong oras siya pumasok. And then calculated. So pag sinabi naman calculated, usually it number and formulas yung ginagamit natin for calculated. And lookup wizard. Ayan. Pero usually, ang gagamitin lang class natin dito is the short text, long text for notes, number, date, time, currency, auto number. Okay? So yun lang po. Yan lang usually. Now, let's say for example, lagyan natin last name. Short text. And take note class, whenever you declare field name, make sure po wala pong spaces. Okay? Kasi po kapag sa query at nag-retrieve tayo ng data, it will give us an error kay SQL kasi itinitreat niya na yung field name natin ay variable. So, pag sinabing variable, hindi po pwedeng may spaces. Kung gusto nyo, for example, na may space yung first name, po pwede po tayong gumamit ng underscore. At least, magkadugtong pa rin sila. Okay? So, yun po siya. Age. Number. Birth date. Gender. So, ayan. So, for example, yan na lang muna. And then, ito yung sinasabi ko po sa inyo na views na po pwede nating pamilian sa kanya. So, we have the data sheet view and then design view. Kapag design view, nandun kayo sa sa format na, aayusin ninyo yung inyong fields kung anong klaseng data type or anong klaseng record yung i-store ninyo sa kanya. Okay? Once na kinlik natin yung ating views back to its database view or data sheet view. So it will ask you first if you want to save the table. So yes. So automatically, ito na po yung ating sample table na ginawa. So ito yung ID natin. Hindi natin siya malalagyan eh. Kasi naka-auto na, ay, naka-short text ba ako? Nakalimutan agad. Short text. So lagyan natin siya. Lagyan natin auto number. Hindi na ako pwedeng maglagay. Hindi na pwede. O sige, for example na lang, 0810461. Last name. Okay. So, yan. For example, ito po yung ating data sheet view class ha. Makikita po natin siya in a database sheet. Ayan. So, yung ating, again, tapos yung design view naman natin, it is the way on how are you going to declare what kind of data type you want to save your records doon sa iyong tables. Okay? So, ayan. And then, what else? Doon sa ating query. So, dun sa query design naman, since meron na tayong table, lalabas na po siya dyan. And then, dun sa ating query wizard, yes. Okay. So, ito yung ating simple query wizard na for step by step. So, for example, magiging, which fields do you want in your query? Manggagaling siya dun sa table, sample table. And then, what are the fields that you want to include on your query? For example, the ID, the last name, first name, middle name lang. And then next, open the query to view information, finish. So, eto na po siya. Yung first query na nakin-rate natin through query wizard by step. So, pwede po na ito lang yung i-retrieve mo na data. So, depende dun sa, again, dun sa data na gusto mo lang na i-display. Okay? So, as you can see, dito po sa ating navigation pane, meron tayong isang table at meron tayong 2 queries. So, to open that again, so double-click nyo lamang po sila. So, yung query 1 natin, wala siyang table. Didelete ko na, ay, wala siyang data, so didelete ko na lang po. So, ganyan po yung usually na ginagawa natin. Pero, kapag po hindi lumalabas, ibig sabihin may problema yung inyong query. Okay? So, let's continue our discussion. So, the object will seem as a tab with the document tabs bar. So, ito yung ating queries. So, nung kinlik niya si customers, ito yung mga data ni customers. So, by default, the most recently opened object will appear in the main window as the current object. So, let's say, for example, nag-save kayo ng access, tapos kinlose nyo yung file niyo. So, pag binuksan nyo po ulit yon, automatically, usually yun yung naka-open. Okay? So, kung paano nyo siya i-close, usually yun yung usual na naka-open. So, to view another object, click its tab in the Documents tabs bar. Okay? So, kung, for example, naka-open lahat. So, kung gusto mo lumipat nung sample table, click nyo lang po sila dun sa Documents bar. Okay? And then, isa-isa din po yung kanyang view. So, kung gusto nyo siyang i-close, tigisa po yan. May close po dito sa baba. Okay? So next, working with tables. So define na po natin yung mga tables para mas malaman natin what are the records or what are the fields that we will be going to include to them. So a table contains the information you want to keep track of and retrieve. So the information in a table is organized in fields. So these are displayed as columns and records are displayed as rows. Okay, so fields, ito yung mga headings, okay, true columns. Yung records naman, true rows, yun yung ating mga data or information na i-store dun sa ating table. So, field po ang tawag naman kapag it is a specific item of data which such a customer number, state, phone number, or company name. So, ito yung fields naman natin na that pertains doon sa record na yon. Tapos, a record is a set of related fields about the specific individual, customer, company, or product. Okay? So, yon. Now, creating tables in a database. So, depending on the method you choose, creating a table can involve one or more of the following. First, specifying the fields for the table. So, ito po yung una nating kailangan. We have to specify the fields of the table that we will be creating kasi kapag hindi po natin inunang i-identify yung fields natin sa isang table, we cannot store our data or our information. Okay? So, as you can see, nung nag-create tayo ng table over here, inuna natin na i-design kung ano-ano yung mga fields na ilalagay natin sa kanya. Yung ID, last name, first name, middle name, age, birth date, and gender. Okay? Next, determining the data type for each field. So, ito naman yung sumunod, di ba? So, nung na-identify na natin yung ating field na ilalagay, so ang kasunod po nun is what kind of data type yung ilalagay natin sa kanya. Teka lang ha, titingnan ko na kung nakadugtong dito yung data type. Parang, ayan. Andyan sa baba yung data type. So, mamaya, discuss na din natin yan. So, what are the different kinds of data type and its terminologies again? Next, determining the field size. So, these are for text and number fields only. So, sabi ko nga sa inyo, kasi po pwede nating ilimit yung ini-input natin kay Access, okay? Kasi ang isa pa po nating kalaban kay Access is the file size or yung mismong size ng file kapag nakasave na. Usually, class, kapag database, we have to make sure that as much as possible, ilimit natin yung size nung text tsaka number fields natin para just to make sure also for data validation. For example, if we will be creating passwords, okay? Sa creation of passwords, we have to make sure na pasok siya dun sa criteria. For example, 8 characters long And then, it composed of uppercase, lowercase number, and special character. So, to do that, usually, nilalagyan natin siya ng data validation at nililimit lang din natin yung kanyang field size. For example, hanggang 12 characters lang yung po pwede niyang i-input na password. Okay? O kaya naman ay doon sa age, hanggang 2 digits lang. Okay? Para just to make sure na valid yung kanyang age, 'di ba? So pag lumagpas ng 3 digit 'yan, ibig sabihin hindi na yun valid yung age na yun. So pangkaraniwan naman ibig sabihin bilang na lang naman yung umaabot ng 3 digit yung edad. Okay? So may mga ganun po talaga na fields. And also, assigning the primary key. So, dun sa primary key, usually, ang ina-assign natin dito is a unique identification or the unique values that will pertain or refer doon sa ating information sa table. Okay? Just like you guys, ang inyong primary key, again, or ang inyong unique value ay yung inyong student number kay Baliwag University. Okay? So, yun yung ginagamit natin na primary key. And then lastly is saving and naming the table. So whenever you create changes doon sa ating tables, you will be asked by the access to save the changes or rename or name the table and the queries before closing that object. Okay? So now, there are 4 types of object database in Access. So first, tables are the most important kasi without the tables, we cannot do anything. Nakita nyo kanina nung wala pa tayong table dito or any object, naka-disable yung ating mga ribbons. Okay? Ibig sabihin, wala tayong magagawa pag wala tayong table. Now, in using forms, queries, and reports, you will still working with tables. Okay? Because that's where all of your data is stored. So, lahat ng manggagaling na data na i-display natin kay form, kay queries, tsaka kay reports, all of it will be coming from your tables. That is why it's very important and kailangan natin yung tables para makapag-store ng ating data. Now, also tables are the center of any database. So, it's important to understand how to use them. So, table basics tayo. So, to open an existing table, just open your database and select the navigation pane. And then in your navigation pane, locate the table you want to open and just double-click the desired table, just like this one. Up yan. Yan. Double-click nyo lang, automatically, mag-open na po yung ating table. Okay? Next. So, the table will open and appear as a tab within the Documents tab bars. So, whenever you click any object doon sa inyong access, lalabas po yan lahat dito sa taas. Dito, nakatab po yan, sunod-sunod. Okay, so kung hindi nyo na makikita yon, meron po yan na navigation arrows na po pwede ninyong i-click para makapag-next pa po kayo ng mga naka-open ninyo na object kay Access. So, yun. Meron po bang question before we proceed with creating tables? Meron po ba?
Wala pa naman.
Wala pa naman. Okay, so now, punta tayo ng creating tables. So first, to create tables in Access in Design View. Okay, Design View. So yung katulad ng pinakita ko po sa inyo kanina. So first, click the Create tab in the ribbon. Okay. So ito po yun. Create, tapos click the table. And then, automatically, it will add up on our object tables. And then, kapag lumipat po tayo under Design View, okay, it will be asked, we will be asked kung what file name or table name yung gusto nating ipangalan sa kanya. And automatically, type nyo na kagad kung ano yung naiisip ninyo that will refer doon sa mga information na i-store ninyo sa kanya. Okay? Let's say, student information. So, ang ginagamit po natin dito na casing is, tawag dito? Camel case. Ay, hindi siya camel case. Tama ba? Camel case. Hindi siya camel case. Usually, proper sentence, proper ang ginagamit natin sa sentence casing kasi it starts with a big or capital letter dun sa start. Pag camel casing kasi, maliit muna. Maliit muna, tapos capital letter yung second word. Okay? So, again, kapag magkikreate po tayo ng table name sa kanya, pati fields, it should be no spaces. Kung gusto niyo na magkahiwalay, make sure it is pwedeng meron siyang underscore. Okay? So, yun. So, for example, meron tayong student information and then ito yung ating field names. So, dun again sa field names natin, lagay nyo na kung ano yung mga headings na gusto nyo ilagay dun sa table na yon that will pertain the records na ilalagay ninyo. Tapos, susunod doon yung data type niya. Okay? So, yan siya. Now, whenever you are done with creating your fields, lipat lang po kayo ng view from design view papuntang datasheet view. Anak Patricia, hindi naman po kayo magte-take ng exam kay Geometrics. Okay? Pero you need to download access for your activities. Or at least kung merong mahihiraman na merong access, kailangan po sana. Okay? So, dun sa iba, po pwede nyo naman pong i-install yun ng access lang na 2016 version kung yun lang yung gusto nyo i-install. Meron naman po nun sa choices kung ano-anong mga application or software yung gusto nyo i-install. Pwede naman po yun. Okay? So now, for the data types natin, so ito yung mga definitions ng ating data types, okay? So, doble pa pala yung ating long text. Kala ko 32 lang siya. Pero that is way too long na po kapag kahit na 32,000 lang siya. Okay, so yung first data type natin is the short text, which is the default field type. This is a text or combination of text and numbers as well as numbers that don't require calculations. Okay? Take note. Pwedeng number basta hindi nyo siya gagamitin for calculation. And it could be a combination of text and numbers. And such as also as phone numbers, and could be up to 255 characters, and the default size is 50. So, as you can see over here, kapag pinalitan natin siya ng short text, ito yung field size niya class sa baba. So, ang limit niya for short text is 255. Okay? So, yan yung ating field size. Yes po, your final exam and final quiz will be all about access. Okay? Sana ba? Okay, next. Long text naman po. Long text is a lengthy text or combination of text and numbers up to 65,535 characters. Okay? And then your number is in numeric data used in mathematical calculations such as adding up the labor hours for a plumbing job or the hours that a certain employee has worked. Okay? So usually talaga ang number ginagamit for number of hours for payroll purposes. And then, date and time. So, date and time code, useful for date and time calculation. So, pwede rin po tayo mag-create ng, let's say, for example, sa isang buwan, ilang araw siyang pumasok at ilang oras siyang ipinasok niya. So, for that, pwede nating gamitin is the date and time declaration para rin mas maayos nating makompute yung ating date and times. Pero usually, date lang. Now, currency. So, currency values and numeric data used in mathematical calculations involving data with 1 to 4 decimal places. Okay? So, it is faster than the floating point calculations used in number fields. So, yon. And then, auto number. So, hindi ko ina-explain class na masyado. Kasi from the word itself, currency, pera, and decimal places. Okay? So, yun yung pwede natin gamitin na data type kapag yun yung involved na type of field na gagamitin ninyo. And then auto number, so it is used for a unique sequential. Usually, guys, it starts with a number 1 and incremented by 1. Okay? So random number or random number assigned by access useful as a primary key field. So yung iba ang ginagawa dun sa auto number, saan ba siya? Duduling. So dun sa auto number, pwede ka dito mamili, increment ba o random. Okay? So, dun sa increment, by 1 yung po pwede ninyong increment, by 1 yung kanyang step value. Kapag random, siya na yung magiging bahala na mag-assign ng value sa kanya, but still, it will be a unique value. Okay? Ibig sabihin, walang magiging katulad. And also, for that, kailangan lang din po natin na i-declare yung index tapos no duplicates. Ibig sabihin, walang po pwedeng mag-repeat ng ID sa kanya. Okay, so yun po yun. Next, the yes or no. So, yes or no values and fields that contain only one of two values, true or false, and on and off. So, used when only two possible values in the field. Okay? So, OLE object, this connects to objects in Windows applications. You can use OLE object data types as ActiveX objects, pictures, calendars, and other types of files and only use in the desktop database files. Ibig sabihin, yung mga yung OLE declaration natin na objects na po pwedeng ilagay sa kanya, it will just be coming from the desktop files. Okay? So, yung iba kasi po, actually, sa panahon natin ngayon, with the use of smartphones, pwede na rin siya. Kasi kapag nag-fill up tayo ng form, although meron na po tayo dun sa taas na desktop view, napapansin nyo po ba yun? Let's say, for example, nagbukas po kayo kay Android ng Google Chrome, tapos, you want to view the website in a desktop view, ibig sabihin, makikita mo yung isang website into a computer format, okay, or monitor format. So, iyon po, pwede po yun. Pero, for some cases kasi, kapag nag-a-attach tayo ng file, yung iba ayaw gumana. It is because of the operating system, the same with the setup nung smartphones. Okay? So, merong yung iba, tsaka yung iba kasi hindi binabasa yung Java, lalo na yung mga yung mga cellphones na gawa sa, although smartphone, kaya lang kulang yung kanyang OS or iba yung kanyang OS or yung mga ActiveX na additional na, ano tawag sa kanya? Yung mga additional na settings sa kanya. Okay? So, yun. Next will be hyperlink. So, it's an instant connection to information on the World Wide Web. By specifying this data type, you can specify a website as data in this field. Okay? So, attachment, desktop only po ito. It allows you to attach any type of supported files such as images or spreadsheets, for example. Okay? So, this provides greater attachment flexibility than the OLE object field and also uses storage space more efficiently than OLE fields do. Bakit nakalagay dito desktop only? Kasi class, wala pong access kay smartphone. Kahit pupuntahan niyo yung Office Suite, wala pong access kay Microsoft Office na smartphone, smartphone. Wala pong access kay smartphone. Usually for desktop purposes yung gamit mong access. Kaya dito po sa attachment tsaka sa OLE object, for desktop database lang po yung nakalagay. Next, calculated. So this allows you to create a calculated field which contains a value that is derived by performing a function on other table fields using an expression that you create. So, pwede po tayo mag-create dito ng formulas na, let's say for example nga dun sa table na ganito, nanggaling yung number of hours na ipinasok niya sa loob ng isang buwan, okay, para ma-compute natin yung kanyang salary. So, those formulas could be considered as expression that you create. Okay? So next is the image or web app only. So it is used to store picture data and used only in web apps. So ito naman po usually for image purposes na yung mga images na ilalagay mo sa kanya or i-attach mo is galing kay internet. Okay? So yon. Now, for the creation of field types, yes, anak, Marvic?
Ma'am, regarding po dun sa calculated, so ibig sabihin po ba nun, yung i-calculate nyo na numbers or digits ay yung mga field na merong number format. Okay po.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes po. Okay. So hindi po kasama dito yung short text kasi nga po sabi nga po natin sa short text, it's just a combination of text and numbers could be, but it will not be used for calculation purposes. And also sa calculated po pwede din po dito yung currency tsaka po yung ating date and time. Okay? So yun po. So usually, naglalagay tayo ng calculated field kapag ito yung field kung saan natin ilalagay yung mga computations natin. Like, kukunin nga natin yung number of days na ipinasok niya, number of hours na ipinasok para ma-compute natin yung salary. Okay? The same with the salary, calculated din yung inilalagay natin para siya naman yung variable or field na mag-handle kung magkano yung sasahurin niya for that month. Okay? So, yun. So this is the example of tables that you can create on Access. So we have the customer ID. So auto number yung nakalagay sa kanya para incremental. And then company name is short text, address short text, city short text, state short text, zip code is short text. Okay, so when done, click OK. So yun. Question. Question class. Sa creating tables and dun sa introduction ng ating MS Access. Meron po ba?
Wala naman po yata, ma'am.
Sika, wait lang. Edit po natin ito. Wala kayong question? Yung iba po. Check ko lang to. Wala? Sure kayo? Okay, so discuss ko po yung inyong saan ba siya? So gawin natin para nagkaroon na po kayo ng idea on what are the data you are going to input dun sa inyong table. Okay, so for your activity 12, meron na po ako nakapublish. So ito po yon. So we will be creating a student information table, okay? Para masubukan natin on how also our tables are created and also kung paano tayo makakapag-create ng queries sa kanya later on. Now, for our tables, we will be creating tables 1, 2, and 3. Yung table 1 po natin, ang pangalan is student. Okay? Now, ang pangalan ng buong database file ninyo is student information. Now, on your ribbon, click the view drop-down and select the design view and enter the following fields and data types. So, the first table that you will be creating is name student, and these are the fields that you are going to declare for them. So, first is the short for student number, last name, first name, age, gender, birthday, town, and province, kung saan kayo nakatira. So, student number is short text, last name is short text, first name is short text, age is number, gender is short text, birth date, date and short text, province, short text. Now, when you are done creating your fields and data types, click the view menu and click the database view to go back to your spreadsheet. And after that, Enter the student number, last name, first name, age, gender, birthday, and addresses of your at least 10 classmates. So, hingi po kayo ng data sa inyong classmates. So, po pwede nating gamitin is wait lang. So, po pwede nating gamitin yung ating chat box sa baba. So, ayan. Meron pala, no? So, sa chat box sa baba, lagay nyo na lang po dyan yung inyong data. Okay? Para doon na lang kukunin nung classmates ninyo yung record ninyo. Okay? So, 0810461. Yan po yung student number ko kay Baliwag University pa. Aha. Sakto na ba? Asan ba? Ito pala. So, last name, first name, gender. O, gender. Ayan. So, lagay nyo na lang dun sa chat box para doon na lang kakopy ng classmates ninyo at least yung inyong, pati pala class, course. Teka. Copy. Para doon na lang ikakopy ni classmates ninyo. Pati po yung course, ha? Ayan. Course, kahit code lang po. Gagamitin po kasi natin yan. Okay? Now, after that, your second table will be of the name course description. Okay? Course description. And then, ang field names na ilalagay ninyo is the course code and course desk. Short for course description. So, ang kanilang mga data types ay short text pareho. Now, dun sa data to be entered dun sa loob ng inyong course description ay ito. So, syempre, lahat ng inyong courses. So, meron akong BSI para dyan. Para sa mga Bachelor of Science in Psychology. Kulang lang in psychology. Sorry po. Tsaka in elementary education, para dun sa aking BE-Ed. Typo lang po. And then BSED for secondary education, BSME for my chemical engineering students, BSCOI for my computer engineering student, and BSEE for electrical engineering. Meron po ba akong nakaligtaan na course? Lahat po ba ng courses ninyo ay nandito? Nakita niyo po ba? Kumpleto naman. Wala namang kulang si ma'am na course. Bukod sa dito sa dalawa. Okay? So, padagdag na lang po pag naglagay kayo ng course description pag nag-enter na po kayo dun sa inyong table. Now, for your table 3, you have your course table. Okay? So, dun sa course table naman po, ang ilalagay ninyong field ay yung inyong student number na inilagay dun sa inyong student table, okay? Kung sino yung 10 ninyo na inilagay sa inyong student table, yun din po yung student number na ilalagay nyo doon sa course table ninyo. Tapos kung ano yung course code ng mga estudyante na yun, okay? So, once done, save nyo lang po yung data ninyo. And then tomorrow, we will be using that for our creating of queries para makita po ninyo kung paano siya ginagamit. Okay? Question? Class?
Ma'am,
Yes po.
ipapasa din po namin yung ginawa po namin na yan sa Canvas po.
Yes po. Kahit po until tomorrow siguro. Para dun sa mga ano po.
Thank you po.
Basta po, kung maaari po, sana po meron kayong gagamitin tomorrow. Kasi para po matry po ninyo yung mga activities na gagawin po natin. Ano po? So, yun. Question, class? Question? Meron pa ba? Meron pa ba? Wala na. Okay. So, since wala na kayong question, review tayo. Para dun din po sa iba na magkaroon na po sila ng guide kung paano nila gagawin yung inyong geometrics review. Saan ba si ating geometrics? During phase, yes po na.
Sorry po, ma'am. Saan po ulit ilalagay po yung information po na ginawa niyo po kanina?
Kay, ano po, punta po kayo dun sa inyong courses, yung database management natin, tapos chat, anak, andun sa chat. Type nyo lang po dun yung inyong informations para po magkaroon ng data to be enter yung inyong mga klase, the same as you, doon na lang po kayo kukuha nung mga records na ilalagay natin sa inyong database.
Thank
Okay?
you po, ma'am.
Naka-share screen po ba ako? Hindi.
Hindi po,
Hindi
ma'am.
Wala
po.
pa po, ma'am.
Ayan. So, ayan. Kita na. Geometrics.
Opo.
Okay. Ano nga password? So, dun po sa mga hindi pa nakakapag-create ng account, po pwede po kayo mag-create ng bagong account kay Geometrics. Pero, class, during your exam, kung meron po kayong existing na Certiport account, I suggest isang Certiport account na lang po yung gamitin ninyo para, let's say, for example, dun po sa mga nakapasa before kay Word, para sama-sama po yung inyong certificates kay Microsoft. Okay? Para dun nyo na lang sila i-retrieve. So, dun po sa mga hindi pa nakakapag-login ng kanilang code, so dito nyo po yun i-redeem ha, redeem code. Yung access code na isinend ko po sa inyo. So, lahat po ba naka-receive na ng access code?
Yes po.
Okay. So, yung code po na yon kasama po yung dash, okay? Kasama po yung dash na i-input dito. So, you can copy-paste kung kaya and then click redeem. So, again, that code is for use ng 30 uses na review sessions, hindi po kasama yung exam doon. Okay? For review sessions nyo lang po yun. Now, kapag po meron na po kayong mga recent activities or mga training modes na nasagutan, dito po yung lalabas kay recent activity. Okay? And then, dito naman sa test, lalabas lahat ng test na ginawa ninyo, saved tsaka completed. Okay? So, sa completed, makikita nyo pati score, kailan nyo natapos, anong oras. Okay?